Here we go. Mhm. What if you knew you'd be the last to touch someone? If you were taking tickets, for example, at the theater, tearing them, giving back the ragged stubs, you might take care to touch that palm, brush your fingertips along the lifeline's crease. When a man pulls his wheeled suitcase too slowly through the airport, when the car in front of me doesn't signal, when the clerk at the pharmacy won't say thank you, I don't remember they're going to die. A friend told me she'd been with her aunt. They just had lunch and the waiter, a young gay man with plum black eyes, joked as he served the coffee, kissed her aunt's powdered cheek, and then they left. Then they walked half a block and her aunt dropped dead on the sidewalk. How close does the dragon's spume have to come? How wide does the crack in heaven have to split? What would people look like if we could see them as they are, soaked in honey, stung and swollen, reckless, pinned against time? Hello, dear Dharma friends. What a privilege and delight to be with you right now. One of the great truths is blazing at me this morning. Everything which has a beginning has an ending. The Buddha put it in shorthand in the word anicca, not permanent. And the teaching of anicca strikes the fragile human ego as very threatening. But I spent all this time in therapy developing a functional self. I've invested in my career and my relationships, my skills. And I really don't even want to think about the fact that they all will end. And so the knee jerk reaction is fight it, deny it, struggle. But for some of us, and the Dharma pulls us in this direction, the truth becomes more and more apparent. Sometimes when this truth becomes blazingly true, not sometimes, I believe always, we go through periods of great grief and depression. Something is dying, some illusion is dying. This process, this willingness to stay conscious, is one of the bravest, it is perhaps the bravest thing a human being can do. And what comes with it, if we are able and have enough support, is a change from, oh no, everything ends, into how exquisitely free everything ends. Therefore, I don't have to be weighed down by anything from the past. Therefore, I can truly delight in life without the demand that it go the way that I want. Then I can sit in the midst of my life and watch the utter mystery of this moment emerging, this unpredictable, out of control blossoming of seasons, relationships, moods, sickness, health. The Buddha said that the taste of this teaching in the beginning is the taste of freedom. The taste in the middle is the taste of freedom. The taste at the end is the taste of freedom. And it is a hard-won freedom. And so let us bow before the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Sometimes Westerners have difficulty with bowing. But in a way, bowing is the ultimate practice, because before long, each and every one of us, with no exception, will bow so deeply that we will leave our bodies, everything behind. So let's remind ourselves, I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in being awake. I take refuge in the Dharma, in the way things actually are. And I take refuge in the Sangha, in the community of practice and the community of all life. Each breath comes out of nowhere. It's one thing to say this, it's another to become so intimate with it as to experience it like fireworks, maybe. Sounds come and go. There are no interruptions in this practice. There is simply what is in this moment. So please let us become avid students of in-breathing and out-breathing. Let us notice whether the body is warm or cold, or where it's warm, where it's cold. Let us notice thoughts as they come and go. There is no way to do this wrong. What is happening now is happening now. There is no difference between love and wakefulness. In love, there is room for everything. In wakefulness, there is room for everything. Let us notice that sounds come, perhaps. Let us notice that there really is a beginning to each breath. There's a rising to fullness, and then there's a decline, and then there's a vanishing. I will go quiet now. Let us sit together and appreciate the Genesis moment right now. The beginning of our world. Hey. What if it's true that there's nothing to achieve? What if it's true that what we discover with awakening is that we've always been awake? What if it's true that all that's left then is love, not romance, love? In attending to breathing, we can open the focus and be aware of the entire living body, from the toes to the hands to the back to the thighs to the face. effortlessly aware of the entirety of the body, not as an idea. And in this cloud of life, of sensations, there's breathing. And we breathe like almost all the living sentient beings. Because all these billions of cells require oxygen. They require getting rid of carbon dioxide. And we are the living earth. She, it, they, people herself, just like she whales herself and chickadees herself. And so we soften back into this present moment, right here and now. When we take birth, when we incarnate, we take on a mammalian body with all of its imperatives to stay alive, to reproduce, to eat. We also take on a human mind. And we go through extensive somebody training in order to become somebody. And we must do that. We have parents. We live in times of peace or war, famine, ease. We experience sickness and trauma. Sometimes we're profoundly loved and sometimes we're neglected. Sometimes someone intrudes upon our sacred interior. We live a human lifetime. The neocortex, the prefrontal cortex, rest upon the animal brain, the alligator brain. The Buddha realized there was something beyond all this. It doesn't deny any of this, but it is clearly not this. And he discovered it's possible to wake up in the midst of our life, not by abandoning the world, not by hating the world, but by waking up right in the middle of it. Awakening is not escaping life. Awakening is loving life so fully that one is free. And awareness, the Buddha, is the vehicle. Also, bravery, a willingness to experience the fullness of what it is to be a human, the extraordinary losses. If we are going to awaken to that which we are, we will lose everything and everyone. We may still be in relationship with them, but we awaken to the fact that they are not what we think they are, just as we are not what we think we are. Please now let us somehow mysteriously allow either our imagination or our deep wisdom to run wild. Feel yourself, know yourself as a pod of great gray whales, swimming north in the Pacific as you have done forever, with your babies that were born in Baja. Know yourself as the trees of the Amazon, as the trees of your backyard. Know yourself as a pod of kangaroos racing across the great red flats north of Alice Springs. Know yourself as an eagle soaring, as a mole burrowing. Let go of the thinking mind, the evaluative mind, and just be that which you are. Be the suffering children of the world. Don't get stuck anywhere. Be the couple delightedly getting married today. Be the old person in the nursing home, no longer coherent. Be that which you take to be yourself, this separate being sitting here with your plans and worries and hopes and fears and ecstatic moments and hellish moments. Deny none of your beingness. Accept the healing and awakening you took birth for. Let the faces and hearts of your many teachers of this lifetime flash before your inner eye. You have been so blessed to simply be here in this moment is to have been profoundly blessed. Be your parents who did their best. Simply opening, letting go, letting be whatever mood is present today, right now. From ecstatically open to contracted and depressed, frightened and fearful, irritable, blaming, joyful. Resist none of it. Recognize that you are in this moment exactly in the right place and the right time. No, we need our separate self to go through the world. We have to have a vehicle for consciousness. So let us love this vehicle, this personality. The squirrel outside my window just reminded me, don't forget the squirrels. Be the squirrels, be the crows. And as taught by the Buddha and other wise ones, let us share the merits of our practice with all of our different forms, all of our different identities. May all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice. Beings without exception. And let this gong carry our wishes to the furthest galaxies. Imagine that, at the speed of thought, to the other side of the universe, to everywhere that life has emerged. May all beings, beings of all kinds, may all beings remember that which we truly are.